All right, friends. We are hanging out today on the Motiga live drawing stream for Gigantic. We have three artists with us. Our first artist is Vinod. Hey, Vinod.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
I can't see you, but I can see what you're drawing.
It's basically me.
Uh, I don't remember you being that handsome.
Oh, God.
Kidding. Who doesn't like a joke? Come on. Hey, Vinod. Tell me all about you.
I'm a guy that is drawing right now. Uh, so my name is Vinod Rams. Um, have been working at Motiga almost since the beginning. Maybe I think I'm employee number 12, and now we're at like 70 plus. So I've seen a lot happen at this company. Um, And before Motiga, I was working at WB Games. Before that, Raven Software. Before that, I was just doing freelance illustration for like Dungeons and Dragons and other role playing games. Um, and went to art school in Michigan. That's where I'm from. And what's that for?
I don't think we need to go back any farther.
Oh, okay.
I was 5 pounds 8 ounces. No. So, what's your title?
Senior concept artist. But we don't
Nice.
really go by titles here, Troy.
We don't.
There's so many labels.
Yeah. So, talk to me about what you're doing right now.
Uh, I'm just kind of drawing a standard. Vinod does not know what he's knows. Vinod doesn't know what he's drawing kind of character, which is usually something with a weird facial proportion, some kind of half beast man with mutton chops. Like if you look through my sketchbooks, you'll see like at least 100 of these guys. It's just
Nice.
like it's just like a warm up thing. Like I don't have to worry. I'm not drawing like a human, so then I don't have to worry about like making it look perfect because it's a monster man. So it's kind of how I warm up usually. Is draw some kind of freak. Yeah, like I sell like a sketchbook at conventions, and it's got a little area to draw in, and every time there's a line and there's like 7 sketchbooks to draw in, I just default to like some weird dude like this.
Nice. Well,
And
so
then
while you're drawing, I want to let folks know that we are taking your questions on our subreddit /r/gigantic over with our friend the Furious Narwhal, and in addition, we're hanging out in the Twitch channel taking your questions, and we've got a studio audience here as well, and they are going to be asking questions too. So if you got questions, queue them up. You've got Ether and Huggles checking out the stream and checking out the Reddit thread. So make sure you get your questions in there right away. We'll keep refreshing to get to them. Hey, Twitch, make sure you start asking questions. Anybody in the audience have some questions about concept art or what Vinod does for a living?
or about the game too.
So one of the questions that I've got is what talk to me a little bit about your inspiration for creating heroes for Gigantic.
It comes from 2 places. Sometimes I'll just be thinking about an interesting character visually. Be like, oh, it'd be cool to have a lizard man that maybe has a lance, and then um, start to come up with like a visual idea of what that looks like. And then if I like where it's going, then I'll start to think of what kind of how it would actually work in the game and post it up on our like internal message board and see what people think about it. Um, Other times it's more of like a direct line from James. He'll post or he'll have a bunch of skills that he already wants in the game that need to like fill a need for the gameplay, and you'll look at that. It's just type. You'll just look at it and be like, oh, it looks like James is trying to come up with some kind of like support spellcaster type character, and looks like speed's not an issue, and this and this, and then you kind of start to just form an idea of, oh well, Maybe it's this like weird character that doesn't need to move very fast, and then you start just brainstorming from there. Um, I think that one of the cool things about working here is that we don't have, you know, if one of us, anybody on the team really, but especially any of the artists, has an idea for a hero, we can just do a little doodle, post it up, and if it resonates with people, and James wants to move forward with it, then we'll just start developing it. It doesn't matter if you're a concept artist necessarily. A couple of our heroes have come from some of the other guys on the team that don't even draw. They just post a couple ideas of what the character could be. Like, sometimes they might reference other games or movies, or, oh, it'd be cool if we had a character like so and so from this movie, and then we'll kind of think of that. So it comes from a variety of places. The heroes that I've created, or that I've concepted, um, there's examples from all of those sources.
So, Vinod, I've got a question for you. And this is from our gigantic subreddit. The question is, as an experienced artist, is it still a challenge to create the looks of gigantic, or does it feel like regular work? And as a second part, they ask, um, this is Foe, by the way, from the subreddit. Furthermore, I'd like to know where you draw your inspiration. We know that Mortal Kombat seems to be one of them. Let's start off with the first one. Working on the look and the feel of Gigantic as an artist, do you have to really change your style to do it, or does it just come naturally?
Uh, the only thing I've had to change, and it's actually been an improvement for my art overall, is I'm a kind of a detail guy. Like, I like to get in there and draw all the wrinkles and all the like tick marks and drapery and all that stuff. And uh, there's a tradition of that in art where you can make that work. Like, there's a classic children's book author or illustrator from the turn of the century named Arthur Rackham, who has this beautiful line quality and drapery, and he draws like these ent or tree men, and they have this like gnarly faces from their like bark and things like that. And the whole thing about his artwork is all the lines and all the detail. Um, and so I've always liked that, but for video games, there you can go super detail. That's what a lot of games look like, actually. Like the Gears of War style kind of game. Um, but when we started developing this style for Gigantic, we realized that we actually want to pull a lot of that detail out and stick with the big shapes. Um, and I had to actually kind of learn to do that. Um, what I've been doing is actually drawing the way I usually draw, and then, like, for instance, like, I can even do it right now. Like, this guy's collar, let's say you know it's got all these folds like that. Um, if I were just doing it for myself, I might leave a lot of those in there, so I could leave a sketch kind of like that. You can kind of get the idea of how that collar sits on his neck. But for Gigantic, we would be literally like um, pulling almost everything out except for like two folds just to describe what that is. And
Gotcha.
that has been like a learning process for me, but I'm getting better at it, and um, it's working for the game. This game wouldn't, with how fast it is, this game would be very hard to follow if we had realistic characters that had like all the pores basically, uh, and too much photorealistic texture detail. So that's even though we don't have an art director, like the art direction for the Gigantic has been a lot of like looking at 2D animation, Ghibli stuff, Disney stuff. The relationship between detailed backgrounds and simple characters. Comics do that too, especially manga. I look at a lot of like Japanese comics sometimes, and they have simple characters, but almost very beautifully rendered backgrounds, and that's how our game starts to look like. Um, And what was the thing about the question about Mortal Kombat? Can you repeat that, Troy, or do you remember what it was?
Um, I do it every day. What are you talking about? Oh wait, you mean like a game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying did I beat it?
No, no. Someone asked a question about.
They were talking about your inspiration as you
Oh
draw
yeah,
it from games like Mortal Kombat.
yeah. I don't know where Mortal Kombat's coming from. Mortal Kombat is the opposite look of our game. Uh, our game is more like Street Fighter than anything. I've never really been a fan of Mortal Kombat's art.
Let's not take a poop on other people's games.
Oh,
Gee.
okay. Sorry.
Hey, no, but I actually, Vinod, I think you're a good person to answer this question too, because you and I have had this discussion, in some form or fashion, or a shade of this discussion. We have, we need to work on some of these usernames. This is Zeflud Fleffel Truffle. Zefluffle Truffle. I think that's what it is. Actually, that's a really great question. How do you try to portray female characters through their physical appearances? I've noticed that they look a lot less sexualized and more practical compared to characters from other games.
Yeah. That's just it's a kind of a value of the team. A lot of the people on the team, on the art team, decided every game kind of, well, not every game, but a lot of games nowadays are not really doing female characters service. Like they're just kind of making the sexy thing and not really caring about what the character looks like or what the character is about. And we kind of decided pretty early on that that's not what we want to do. We thought if we're definitely gonna have female characters, and if they're gonna be there, then let's make them actual characters. Of being attractive or like quote unquote sexy is part of their character, and we can actually back that up, then I guess that's fine. But it's a fighting game, and these characters are like in like these crazy battles. Like I don't see where that really comes into play. It might just for a stylistic thing. We're also trying to make appealing characters, so we're our characters, even if there's like an ugly guy or like this like hag lady or something like that, they're still going to be like interesting looking and fun to look at, as opposed to like just a unappealing character. So I don't know. I also think just on a personal thing, not even just I don't know. I'm getting older, and I kind of want what I draw to make a more significant impact, and not just add to like some of the garbage that's out there. So that's just me. And I tried, and because Motiga, like no one at Motiga is saying the opposite of that necessarily. Like, I've been able to just when I design some of the female characters that I've designed on the project, I've made it a conscious decision not to go that route, and it's never caused problems. It's been positive, and everyone's on board. Um,
Yeah, and I also would say that there's some folks that are saying sexy characters are important too, and I think that they are. I think that there's a certain beauty and you know sexiness to say Zenobia.
right,
That is quite clear, but it's all of our female characters aren't wearing a chainmail thong
right.
in the heat of battle.
And also, like one of the uh, for Zenobia is a good example because we always said like she's like crazy, like evil character, like an Emperor Palpatine or something like that. Like she's like an evil sorceress, but she's also very like high fashion looking, like the way she walks and even her like outfit. So that is part of her character, and it still allows her to like run around on the battlefield like killing people. So I think that that's a good example of how that could work. You know, appealing character doesn't necessarily have to be in full armor. She's wearing just like a cool dress, basically. But because she's this magical sorcerer, it actually works. That she might actually care about like that character actually might care about the fact that she looks good. You know. as opposed to if we did in the future we did some like fighter barbarian lady that just is this like scarred up like bruiser. Like I mean, we wouldn't worry about that kind of thing with her.
So I have another question for you from our Twitch channel from Hotstar. So when you are looking at designing a hero that is humanoid or non-humanoid, what's your preference? And are you more excited about the non-human than
Uh,
say the human?
I like drawing both. I've always been a kind of a creature guy, especially when I was doing like Dungeons and Dragons stuff. But drawing weird faces and interesting characters is always like fun, even if especially if they're human. So I don't have a preference. I like both. Like we have a pretty good mix. We for a while at on Gigantic we had just a freak show. We just had a bunch of monster characters and like two. We had Roland the gunner, and we had Trip, and then it was just Voden and Knossos, and oh, we had Alchemist, but he's like a weird dwarf guy. Anyways, he's not even a full. I wouldn't. He's a human, but he's like so weird that he's almost like a weird creature. Um, but uh, and then we decided, okay, we need to get some people into this game. Otherwise, we're just like gonna shut out a whole bunch of people that aren't into monster characters.
So that's a great segue into the next question, which is, have we actually? And I'm trying to remember. Huggles Ali is sitting right next to me. If we have changed the look of a character based on feedback from friends and family or alpha,
Have we?
I
Or
don't.
you're
I'm
asking me?
asking, yeah,
No,
or
no, we haven't gotten any feedback like that yet. Like so far, all the feedback's been really positive, which we really appreciate because that means we're hitting the right marks. Uh, I do not. I don't think we. No, we haven't taken any suggestions like that. Not that we wouldn't, but we just haven't yet. No one said anything like, "Oh my God, this character's horrible," and we were like, "Oh, we better change it."
fair enough. Hey, Vinod, what is your favorite manga?
Uh, let's see. I like Akira, but that's kind of you read it once and you don't need to necessarily revisit it. Um, Blade of the Immortal is still going on. I haven't read that in a while. I stopped reading it for a while, but it was really compelling for a while. Um, Berserk is really really dark, but I really like that one. Um, I'm trying to think. There's so much out there. There's uh, a manga called Monster, which I haven't gotten into yet, but everybody recommends. It's not even fantasy; it's actually just a almost like a crime drama. Um, yeah, there's a lot out there. I uh, currently am not reading anything like religiously right now, but yeah, there's a lot of good manga out there. I don't usually. I used to read more of the uh, mainstream stuff, like you know uh, Dragon Ball and all that stuff when I was younger. But now I'm reading a little bit more like adult titles or like something that's got a little bit more stuff going on, I guess.
So we've got a lot of folks in the Twitch channel right now that are aspiring artists, and they're looking for some advice, not just on learning the craft, but how to present yourself when you are, say, looking for a job and creating that portfolio. And rather than go into too long of a career counseling session, can you give some, maybe 3 tips to folks on kind of how to prepare themselves both as an artist and then also to kind of get into the mix employment wise.
Yeah, I think a lot of artists are accessible now because of the internet, emailing and stuff. So if there's an artist in your field that um, you know is the type of artwork they're doing is kind of where you would like to be, then meeting them at a convention or even trying just cold emailing them, um, starting a relationship like that isn't a bad idea. The other thing is, yeah, knowing the industry you're looking into because it's even though it's all art, it's if you want to get into like publishing or illustration, that's so different of a portfolio than concept art for games. And concept art for games is a lot different from like concept art for movies. Um, so you should know where you're applying and what to focus on. The only thing that supersedes everything is just good drawing skills and good painting skills. That that's going to serve you no matter what. So um, yeah, I would say know your audience, so know who you're applying for. There's a lot of portfolios we'll see that come in to the video game studio, and you'll look at it and be like, oh, this person's really good, but this is illustration work. We can't tell if this person can design characters. We can't tell if they can give a model or something that they can work on. So yeah, I think knowing where you're applying it is really important.
Right on, Vinod. Well, so hey, listen, we've got two other artists sitting up there with you, and
Yep.
they are awesome. And I would like you to go away. No, I'm kidding. Hey, everybody here in the studio audience, give Vinod a round of applause for coming up and drawing for both our friends in the on the Twitch channel and folks who are asking questions on the subreddit. I want to remind folks, or actually announce to folks who are listening online, that we are doing on the subreddit the top 5 questions as decided by Mo Huggles and myself. We will be mailing you a T-shirt. So ask some great questions over there /r/gigantic. And who's up next? Because I can't see you.
Hey Troy,
Yeah.
this little alien guy. See how he's like talking? Like, see that little word bubble with the alien language?
Yeah.
He's saying he really likes you.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's kind of into you, Troy.
He does have nice eyes.
Okay, I think Lexi is next.
Lexi. You know, Lexi and I share an office together, and she harasses me all day. Like probably 12 times a day, she calls me a child and then tells me to
Please
what
leave.
please leave. Yeah. She also kicks me out of chat and tells me to leave when I am talking in our kind of local um, chat program. Don't you?
No, I think you're confusing that. It's reversed. You send me to the jerk face room all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And I'll just be talking to myself. I will just continue to talk and then wonder why it's so quiet. And then I realize that I've been moved by an administrator.
Yeah, so we'll be playing in the alpha, which is friends family, which is now alpha, and on our Mumble channel, she'll be talking, and I'll drop her in the jerk face room, and she'll sit there for a while, and I can see her talking at her desk, but see that she's not talking to anyone. So outside of me harassing you, Lexi, talk about you. Who are you?
My name is Lexi Douglas, and I do outward facing illustration for the game. So anything that is outside of the gaming experience, spot art for the website, key art for banners, both for web and print, all that interesting looking, pointy, stylized blue green work that's been floating around out there. Stuff that I've been working on so far, and my as the game progresses, and we get closer to things like open and closed beta and launch, my responsibilities will branch out from there to a variety of different purposes. And I came here from straight freelance tabletop mostly, some private small publications, and yeah, that's mostly me.
Nice. So, folks who have been actually following Gigantic over the last few months, when we kind of popped onto the scene, we introduced the game with folks in the studio audience. Will see the banner on the wall. That's the artwork that Lexi created for our key art, which is pretty phenomenal. In addition, the folks who are on Twitch or listening to us over the internet, you can check out gogigantic.com and see the artwork that Lexi put together. Really phenomenal stuff. Also, Lexi has dyed her hair the same color as our key art. So everybody here says, I think it's pronounced Kishi or Kiwunshi or K. We're going to call you K. Says Lexi, I love the hair.
Ah, thank you. I
So
I really like to
it's pretty.
like a
Hey,
lot.
Hey, Lexi, do me a favor and kind of move the microphone a little closer to your mouth.
Yeah, is this better? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, it's perfect.
All right, cool.
So I have a couple questions for you. One question that I've got is some folks might recognize you from something else that you were involved in
I don't know what you're
before
talking
you
about.
you don't? Are you sure?
So, in addition to, I'm sorry, like the mic is like running into my glasses whenever I look down at the keyboard. So if you hear a really loud crack in the audio, I
It's just your
apologize.
face.
Yeah, can't be tamed. Um, in addition to the work that I've done independently and client work and things like that, I've also got previous association with Penny Arcade, and for those of you who are into stuff like PATV and their endeavors outside of the comic and PAX efforts, I was a contestant on their webcomics competition reality show called Strip Search, which is very inappropriately titled, very much on purpose. Don't Google it. Just go to the Penny Arcade website and and click through from there because they've got links to it all over the place. It's just safer that way. But I was on the show with 12 other insanely talented artists of various experience levels, and it was a really great experience for everybody involved, and has opened a lot of doors for me, and it's been really cool. And I've worked on some other projects and stuff as well, like Musak. Some of you nerds at home might be familiar with that kind of work. And I've got my own personal webcomic project as well called The Cloud Factory, which is resuming shortly.
So what's it called?
The Cloud Factory?
Cloud Factory.
Yes,
The
it's
Cloud
an
Factory.
adventure fantasy graphic novel style long form webcomic.
Nice. So we've got a couple really great questions that I want to ask. I'm not asking that question, GG Unleashed, because nobody wants to build a snowman.
Does it sound like I can sing right now, Tim?
You know exactly who that is. I love it. Hey, so this is a great question from Kijobu from the Reddit slash r gigantic or slash gigantic rather. How have your past experiences shaped your development and growth as an artist, and how does your individual style both take elements of your past and present to generate a unified whole?
I'm not sure if I could. Could you repeat that, please?
So what they're looking for is think about your past experiences, whether as an artist or just things in life that have informed your talent as we see it today.
You're like, I can't draw while I'm thinking about this kind of stuff. That's really intense. So the
These are
way
serious questions, lady.
past experience has informed my work. Um, like I, as I said, I come from a tabletop illustration background, and that's a lot of the work that I've done in the past. Vinod spent a little bit of time earlier talking about having the proper portfolios for the kind of jobs that you like, and the kind of jobs that I like to do aren't necessarily concept art oriented. I don't really have a lot of that in my portfolio. I've been doing more of that more for my personal projects as of late, but it's still not strongly represented because I like to take concepts, whether it's a text based description or pulling together existing IP or existing visual aids and creating something like polished and narrative in terms of a finished illustration, which is sort of how I ended up in the position that I am now. In that, I'm not doing the concept for the game. I'm taking all the existing artwork that this incredible art team that they've pulled together has been making for this, and making promotional pieces that reflect the attitude of the game. And the inspiration for this dates all the way back to when I was super young. Um, my both of my parents are pretty nerdy, and my dad was super into D&D and still is to an extent, from way back in his college days. Uh, and so I grew up in a house that had a lot of fantasy novels, a lot of the older ones with Frank Frazetta covers and old school D&D manuals. So I had all these beautiful, richly painted fantasy illustrations surrounding me, and that was definitely something that I wanted to wanted to pursue, and it was something that kind of stuck with me all throughout my experiences, in all the way through high school and college, where even if I was working on something else or focusing on something else for a little while, I was always working on my art in the background. I'm not sure what else to really say on the
No,
subject
it's
for
great
that.
stuff. No,
And for those who are more familiar with my body of work, like Vinod, there's a lot of anime and manga influence in the kind of stuff that I do, and a lot of the informative stuff is just very fluid figures and intricate backgrounds, while with more simplified um, character and foreground elements. Bright colors, big shiny Desu eyes, shojo bubbles,
okay.
rose petals.
One question before we talk a little bit about what you are drawing, which I can only assume is me. So the D&D mom says, "Do you know how amazing you are? I love your art, and you've given me so many great tips for drawing, and it's just awesome."
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Dandy.
So, talk to me a little bit about when you are sharing your love for the work that you do with the world, and you've got these folks who are asking you for tips or inspiration or trying to kind of get into your head and examine sort of your talent and skill and see how they can kind of adopt some of the things that have worked for you. I mean, do you do that a lot?
Yeah. I've always enjoyed talking shop. I really like to talk about the kind of stuff that inspires me, and the kind of work that I've done to get to the point where I am, the kind of coursework that I did when I was an undergrad, um, the kind of tools that I use in my digital work as well as traditional. And I have gotten so much great advice from people that inspired me in the past as a younger person, that it's very important to me to pay that kind of kindness forward, to be that person for other younger artists who were in the same position that I was 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and just knowledge is free. Knowledge is something that you can easily share with other people, and all you need to do is be willing to give a little bit of your time, and it's very enjoyable for me, and very fulfilling to hear the aftermath of stuff like that, when they talk about how inspirational it was for them, or how much their work has improved as a result, or that they discovered something new about their work or about things that they were working with that they wouldn't have otherwise considered, if I hadn't taken the time to talk to them. So that kind of stuff is just, it's a really nice way to interact with my community and interact with other artists who may be wanting to follow the same path. And yeah, it's important
That's
to me.
awesome. Hey, Lexi, there's a question. Why won't you let Troy ever touch your Cintiq?
Because he's just gonna draw like butts all over it.
Those weren't butts.
Troy,
Those
there
were,
are children.
they were hearts. What is wrong with you people? So walk me through what you're doing right now. Like, what is happening?
Well, like Vinod, I kind of have a default that I do, which is some kind of cool mystical lady thing, and sometimes they're more one-to-one, like humanoid ladies, and sometimes they're really cool magical creature ladies. And he was drawing a cool goblin guy, and so I wanted to draw a cool kind of satyr fawn lady. Excuse me, I had taken a sketch request when I was working the strip search booth in Bandland earlier this weekend. That was what I would imagine a daughter of the Ironwood to look like, who hadn't fully transitioned but had been out there for a while. And I had created a cool gal with like birch tree antlers and blooms blossoming off of the branches, and little leaves flitting off in the wind, and so it just sounded like something something along those lines would be fun for me to tackle for something like this. A little less standard than just a gal with anime eyes, because that happens a lot.
So we've got someone with another GG Unleashed actually has a question for us. What has been your favorite thing to draw for Gigantic thus far?
My favorite thing to draw, man, that's really difficult. Um, yeah, doing fan art of our own game. One of our dev guys was pursuing me um, tirelessly during an internal playtesting match, uh, and as the Margrave, and I was playing Imani at the time, and it didn't matter if his team needed help. It didn't matter if his guardian was being wounded. He had it out for me, and whenever he saw me on the map, it was just a beeline, and it was extremely difficult for me to settle into any kind of niche, because Imani is a ranged character and she's a sniper type character, and it's important for you to find a good safe spot to keep her so that she can do her job without getting squished, because she is very squishy. And so he just spent this entire match chasing after me, and I enjoyed it so much that I made a piece of fan art, like just like a little one panel mini comic of the Margrave barreling after Imani, saying, "I just want a hug." And Imani's just like, "No, go away." And she's just frantically running as fast as she can in her big poofy coat and her teeny tiny little feet and her gigantic mechanical crossbow. And that was just a lot of fun.
It was fun because I actually had done a Google image search, which I don't recommend for everyone. But I searched gigantic fan art, and that popped up, and I was doing a presentation to the entire studio, so I just included it as fan art, and I also included a piece of my art, which was fantastic. I'll show everyone later. But
It is pretty amazing, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, it's awesome.
Like breathtaking. I can't believe you're not on the art team.
Stunning, I think.
You really need to submit more hero concepts.
I'm going to, but they won't pay attention to them. But anyway, so I included a piece of my art, and then I hear from the back of, or probably the middle of the studio group that was gathered, "Hey, that's my art." It was Lexi.
No, someone goes, "Isn't that Lexi's?" And I go, "Yeah, that's mine. That's mine." It's good. If not,
Hey, so another question for you. So this is about your work as a graphic designer.
sure.
um, Easier to or better to you kind of pick which direction you want to go, to be an independent graphic designer, kind of taking jobs as you need, or to have a full-time gig?
I think that's really dependent on what kind of person you are. Some people are very versatile in that they function very well in both kinds of environments. They can handle the what's the word I'm looking for? The uncertainty and ever-changing landscape of a freelance type position, as well as kind of stay on top of their own business, because that requires a completely different skill set on top of being an artist as well. You need to have business savvy, you need to have discipline and good time management, which incidentally I don't have. And so as a result, it ended up that this opportunity arose, and during a time when I was struggling, and it seemed like a really good fit, and that was something that I decided to pursue. And I had worked in an office environment before, so I knew that it would be fine. And I was just so floored by the team that it would have been foolish for me to say no. But there are some people who just have an incredible head for business, and an incredible capacity to manage themselves and manage their time. So that's something that's kind of vital to making it as a freelancer, not just in design work, but in illustration as well. And writing, if we're going to be honest here, there's a lot of creative professions out there that you can do both in an in-house capacity and in an independent capacity. But it also caters to those who like to keep unusual hours or need more availability for other projects or travel, you name it. There's definitely a certain amount of flexibility afforded to you by having a position like that. Whereas in an office environment, you have less freedom to pick and choose what kind of projects you get, but you have a lot more stability, and you also have access, depending again on where you end up working. But like here at Motiga, I have access to a massive department of well, compared to what I'm used to, a large department of insanely talented and experienced artists who can lend a fresh eye and lend expertise and a helping hand to the creative process. So if you're ever stuck or if you ever need feedback, there are people there that you have access to that you wouldn't otherwise.
Well, you're welcome for that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Troy.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do without you.
I know.
But you also have the benefit of guidance, of not having to work within a vacuum, of having materials to kind of kick things off. Um, and if you really like working together with other people, if you get lonely when you're by yourself, and sometimes that hinders motivation and creativity when you feel like no one's seeing your work or no one's around to kind of encourage you, then working in an office environment definitely comes with a lot of benefits as well. But it's all hard work, and if you have the opportunity, because I mean, I went from an office, I was a product and packaging designer for a couple years right out of college, to freelance, and then back to an office again. And there's really nothing that says that you can't experiment, that you can't try both. If the opportunity for one arises, take it and see what happens. Work that job for a couple years, or 3 or 4 or 5, and see if it works out. And if that's not doing it for you, and you've kind of brought your life with that engagement to a close, or you're ready to move on to something new, then branch off and try freelance. And finding what works best for you is really the important thing. There's no one size fits all solution to
I have a
finding a job.
I have a related question, Lexi. You kind of straddle both of those worlds in that you, while working on Gigantic, you also spend a lot of time kind of traveling and going to shows and sharing your art with people, even as recent as a couple weeks ago, right?
Yep. A couple weeks ago, I went to Gen Con, which is the tabletop gaming convention in Indianapolis. It's definitely one of the bigger ones in the States. I've been going to that show for a few years now and had already signed up for the table and made sure that I got my work done well in advance and got it cleared by my superiors to go out and make this engagement. Yeah, I'm still maintaining a certain amount of that lifestyle on the side. My current job kind of takes priority professionally, but here at Motiga, they really emphasize and respect work-life balance, and they want us to be able to have time to pursue personal work and things like that. And so it gives me an opportunity to continue to expand the breadth of my work, and take on jobs that are different from the kind of work that I do within the company, while continuing to do really cool stuff for Motiga on a full-time basis.
Nice. Hey, Lexi, we are getting close. We might go a little long with this particular panel, but I don't want to keep people here too late. Do you mind if we switch up?
Not at all.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Everyone,
sorry,
give Lexi a round of applause.
I don't draw very fast when I'm talking.
Fair enough, my friend.
If you want to, here's my. I don't even know what I was drawing here, but she's got some cool spots, and she's got some cool ears and some cool horns.
I don't know about you folks, but it makes me sick that artists are like, I just flipped it. I was talking and thinking and blah blah. Like if I if I sat here for like 3 months and I tried to do this, it would look nothing like this. Honestly, it would look like a butt. It's supposed to be a heart, but clearly it's a butt.
Why can't it be both, Troy?
You just blew my mind. All right, Lexi, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
We
Thanks
are
for the
going
questions,
to
guys.
invite another artist from Motiga. She's walking up to the machine. I'm gonna sing a song about it. Do, 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 do. Don't be rude on the internet.
Oh, you're in my head, Troy. I don't like it.
I'm all up in your head. Who am I talking to?
I feel like you're on my shoulder, like a tiny little Troy.
Just call me Fang.
I kind of want one.
I do too, actually. Wait. No, I want to kind of hang out on your shoulder. I think that'd be fun.
Just don't poop on it.
Don't do what?
Nothing. Never mind. I had a bird. That's what they do. I think that's what birds do.
Oh, poop. Is that what you said?
Maybe.
I wouldn't. Now I'm going to. Katie, who are you?
I'm Katie Hargrove, and I'm a creature modeler at Motiga. I guess character modeler. And mostly I make cool ZBrush sculpts of stuff that like Vinod and Devin draw, and sometimes I get to draw a little bit too. So I'm here doing that.
Well, talk to me a little bit about your art style. Like, what do you do as an artist?
So I guess I used to be really focused on making kind of really realistic monsters, and now I'm more focused on making character, like pure character, where it's more like abstract things, and cartoons are certainly like a huge part of that. Uh, just finding out what weird abstract stuff like people resonate with, and there's an interesting language in that. So exploring those types of ideas, I guess it's a weird way of saying it.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great. So we're rolling up some questions here, but I want to talk to you a little bit about you know, as an artist, Lexi and Vinod were both kind of talking about they go to shows, Comic Cons and those sorts of things, Gen Cons. They share their art with the world. Do you do the same?
Windows. Yeah, I get to. Oh God, this keyboard. Why? I, I feel like I'm in a different universe right now. So I go to Emerald City Comic Con and show work there a lot, pretty much every year. My friend talked me into doing that many years ago because they didn't want to be by themselves, and I was like, okay. And they're like, just print some stuff out and bring it. And I was like, okay. So we sat in that art table at actually that year I think it was SakuraCon, and it was so fun. I just kind of kept doing it, but then SakuraCon was an anime convention, and I like anime, but I don't really draw any, so I felt a little weird being there. So I started doing Emerald City Comic Con, and this is we've never animated them this way, but this is how Matiga arm works. Just so you know, like that. It's kind of crazy. Uh, and so it's like I go to that a lot, but I also go to things like CTNX, which is down in Burbank, which is a lot of fun too. It's just people in the animation industry, so mostly I think TV and movie guys go down there, but some games people too. Uh, but yeah, I don't know, just fun stuff where I can find people who are giant nerds about the same stuff I'm a giant nerd about, and try to have fun conversations with them
what
about things.
What are you a giant nerd about?
I'm a giant nerd about monsters. Just whether it's cartoon monster or like kind of serious monster, or whatever. It's like I'll just geek out about that all day. And it's actually weird. It's like there aren't that many people who like monsters as much as I do, so it's hard to you know find things that I can talk to about with other people beyond like that was cool. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Now let's talk about how really cool it was and how it was failing and succeeding in the film, like a Pacific Rim. So much win, so much fail. Oh,
Katie has very strong opinions about dragons.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I was going to bring up dragons. Anybody that follows sort of your presence on the internet will know that you have a thing for dragons.
You make it sound pervy. Just
I'm not here to judge.
I feel a little judged.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is it my voice?
It's because it's in my ear. It's. I feel like you're whispering that to me.
I feel like we're just having this talk together, Katie.
Me too. Are there other people here? Because I wouldn't want them to know about this conversation.
Dragon sound.
Wait, what?
I was making a dragon sound for you.
Oh, no, you weren't.
All right, talk to me about what you're drawing. Who is this little guy?
I don't know what this is. It's got no arms. It's got some legs, and it's fuzzy. Maybe it does have arms. Maybe it's got butt arms. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Did you say butt arms?
Yeah, you know.
Those are hearts. I said they were hearts. Oh.
Oh wait, I'll make it better. It's definitely hearts. Oh, whoa, that was weird. Fart? What? What is this?
Oh no.
I did.
That just oh dear.
I'm gonna leave it there. You know, so it's like I'll draw. I like drawing like kind of cute little guys, but I also draw like, you know, it's like I can do something like, you know, if I kick this guy and I could ruin Vinod's drawing. Maybe I'll do that next. But like, you know, the ideas in here that make him cute and appealing are things that um are kind of like specific ways you can kind of manipulate the way people see something. But I can take his actual details and make something, you know, kind of scary or hyper realistic based off of that. You get if you took this cartoon version and made it really like hyper detailed, it would look nasty. It would go from cute to nasty. I don't know. You may have seen like people will do take like a cartoon character and dress up like Homer Simpson or something. It looks like that looks weird, and you're not really sure why because it's still the same shapes, but it's because it's got all that detail on these cartoon forms, and you're just like your brain just doesn't know how to place it. Where if you took the same ideas of him and made him into like a really realistic person, it just looks like some like, oh, that guy, yeah, he's not scary anymore. He's just like really realistic. So if I that dude, it's like nose eyes, ears.
Question from our friends on the Twitch channel. What noise would that creature make if it were making a noise?
I don't know if I can make the sound it makes. It's like when I look at him, I don't think he makes little mouth noises. I think he makes little squeaky knee noises, like when he's walking. He's like, and then he farts out hearts, and that's just like kind of.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
don't
that
know.
was fun. Actually, that was fun. I'm a little disturbed about the heart parts, but um, do you do a lot of so related to your work at Motiga? What is your impact on the heroes as people see them sort of when they play Gigantic or watch a video? What's your contribution to the hero creation process?
I think most of my contribution is making Vinod sad. I think that's my biggest
Hey, then I'm an
goal.
artist too.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty good. Because I blast out all your detail, and you're like, oh, come on, Katie, add it back. I'm like, no. I
They
think,
really do talk to each other like that, by the way.
I mean, my thing, I don't like the way this is looking either. It's, he's fat. It's really translating the concept into a 3D environment because it seems like, you know, if you're, you know, you drew something, then you could just turn it into a sculpture really quickly. But there's actually a lot of kind of concepting you do while you're sculpting. He's got these good legs, you know, and,
Oh,
and hearts too. This is how we go.
what's happening here?
Just
Mm.
I don't know. We got onto the wrong side of the tracks, and my other superpowers stand on the wrong side of the tracks. It's like trying not to make
You
things
take
worse.
us. You take us there. Actually,
I don't like yelling. Oh. But yeah, just translating those concepts in there into things. What is this even? I don't know.
I know it's like a cow meets. Oh, now it's a cyclops. Oh no. Okay. Oh,
Vinod, where's your stuff? It's up here.
with like a
Uh-oh.
spork butt.
What? I don't know what I did. I think I sweated into my own eyes, and I can't see anymore. It's like I have sunblock in my eyes right now. Oh, that's no, that's. Mm-mm.
Are we gonna ruin Vinod's art?
I don't know. What do you, Vinod? How should I ruin it? How should I ruin it? Just wait. What? Just do you? You do you? Oh, okay. But I'm gonna do this first. Cause you gotta do that. And, this one's just, oh, it's so beautiful. And it's just gonna get a little romantic in here.
Oh.
Oh, well then, Yowie, just Yowie. Wait, I just, this is a beautiful lady pirate. That's it. So we're gonna, I'll back out of that. I'll stop ruining. Oh, my eyes, why? You know.
So people on the Twitch stream are asking, what the hell is going on right now? And I don't really have a good answer for them. Because I'm watching on a delay, and I'm like, what? Oh, no. I wanted to see the romance. All right, talk to me about what this is.
A skull face horn guy. I think, he's got cool sweet horns and I don't know. He's your little buddy. You're out back having a good day with him, and
Outback.
you're just having a good time, and he's digging around in the backyard. He found this weird bone, and he dug it up, and he's like, "Here, have a bone." And you're like, "What the fuck? Why is it, this is a human femur? I just bought a house. Why is there this in my backyard?" Were these people? They fled the country, I think. Oh God, I just bought a graveyard, and now the
So you just bought a house, didn't you?
I did, and
Is this a story from your past?
this is what I hope does and doesn't happen.
Does and doesn't happen.
So, like what my problem with going anywhere is that I'm always expecting to find unpleasant treasures in life, and I hope and fear them. Like, you go swimming, you're like, man, swimming's great, and you like sink down a little bit, and you're like, what's that feeling? I hope it's not a dead body, because it might be. You never know. That's happened.
We're gonna rename this live stream "Unpleasant Treasures." Oh my gosh. I'm trying to figure out what the story. Oh, so is it a dragon head skull thing?
I think that's what I said.
No, I bet but it has a neck.
Yeah, who doesn't?
A dragon head, just all hanging out as
Yeah,
a skull.
here's your little buddy. But it's like, it's I don't know. I'm not. I don't really want to do anything really realistic right now because it takes like for fucking ever to do that. Because it's a pain. But you can take that guy. He's got his little eyes. He's kind of happy. All right.
I like
Lost
him.
him. Then you could just be like, "Hi, it's the same guy." How's it going, everybody? I found your bone for you, but just so kind of like this. If I would draw something, and I'd be like, okay, and then this is my 3D model version of what Vinod would draw, where I blast out the detail, and then I draw the viewer's attention to really, the important parts.
Yes, I see the important parts represented very well.
Maybe I'm just maybe I don't have sweat in my eyes. Maybe I'm just weeping for myself because
I think
I know this is on the internet and people have seen. Just
well,
I
you know
can't.
what's good is that it'll be there forever. So
It's not good. I worry for my children because their whole lives are on the internet and they know what I'm like now and forever. You can't be like, oh, when I was younger. They're like, oh no, I know, I saw. That's, yeah, this guy more more
yeah.
more more chin for. I don't know. I just draw things. I don't know. What should I draw in my eyes?
Yeah, let's actually just do some freeform stuff. Let's have some fun.
Everyone, someone name
This is freeform.
Robot Guardian.
I,
okay. Name an occupation.
oh,
Doctor.
Robot. All right, for everyone who's in the Twitch stream,
oh God. I think I heard
They're-
robot horse wolf doctor. That's what I did.
this
Oh
whole thing
God.
is a horror show.
You shouldn't have invented my being here.
All
Oh
right,
God.
so hey, folks that are in the Twitch channel, I'd like to get some suggestions from you. Well, so one of the suggestions we'll do next.
Wait.
Actually, I'm gonna hold on to it. Right now, we're doing a robot. What doctor?
Well, just wait. Just wait for it. Don't jump the gun.
Oh,
Is he like unfrozen caveman lawyer? He doesn't understand.
Just like this is kind of how I think, and then I'll spend more time sometimes and make a better thing. Anyways, it's just it's you think you know where it's going, but you don't. The thing he's got a. This is apparently what I think doctors look like.
oh, I thought he was a lawyer. Like, I object.
I think he's just wearing an iPhone, like not really a stethoscope. Or
Is
oh
he got a
God,
disco
oh
collars?
God.
What's happening with that?
Wait, hold on. You gotta wait for it, Troy. Wait. I mean, you can keep guessing. I guess I'm not gonna stop nobody.
He looks like an aardvark, kind of.
He's a little worried about what he saw in life. I have friends who are in the medical industry, and they all have the best worst stories, and I feel like this might be what they go through sometimes.
He's like, why did I become a proctologist with these hands?
He's just like he's at his job and he just got in too deep.
I warned the internet that this would happen. I did indeed, didn't I?
Troy,
Didn't I,
it's a
internet?
unicorn for you.
Hey, thank you. You drew me a unicorn once. Oh.
Oh.
Is he coming out of a unicorn?
Yeah.
I guess he did go in too deep. Oh.
But then, so much blood. Oh, somebody put party effects on the blood. Yeah. I have blood on my hands.
What have I done?
Yeah. Oh man. So this is why if you're a werewolf doctor, you don't do this. Like you don't go to the farm and check out the horses.
And
on
don't
full
do your
moon.
proctology on the full moon, right? I mean, come on.
Because you just get in too deep too soon. It's not good. This is what happens. I don't know. Oh, and also wait, hold on. It gets better. I think it's got wheels for feet. Because it's that good robot. It's so good.
That is.
And it's got bird legs.
You don't want to lose that child.
You don't. Yeah, you want to be as immature as possible. if you want to do what I do.
Well, score one from Otiga.
This is where art comes from. Never knew before.
This is a real action thing going on here. A real action
Yeah.
shot.
Anyways, he's just like, oh God.
Everybody knows what.
All right, so there's
man. I don't know,
another
that's what I got.
suggestion. Katie, this was fantastic. Everyone give her a round of applause.
Okay.
I want to do just a
Hmm.
couple more
I got one.
requests. We've got one, and I'll actually offer it to whomever wants to draw it. Let me look at it again. It is a. Sorry, my short-term memory is shocked. It is an evil clown.
No.
No dice, huh? Anybody else? Take me. Come on, I really want it for Jeannie. Yeah, I'm the only one that wants it. No, I'm not. Me and Judas. And
Yeah.
the community wants it, and I'm the community manager, so I'm just doing my art, Katie. This is my art.
Evil clown.
Oops, sorry. What are you laughing about?
They're far away. They don't want to be. They want to get evil clown.
Oh, you guys did proof. Yeah, you're kind of at the opposite end of the table. Folks on Twitch don't know what the heck we're doing, but we've got our three artists up at the panel table, and Lexi and Katie have moved to the very far side because they didn't want to get any backsplash from the evil clown. Oh, Katie wants to be closer to me. I would sing a song, but no, she doesn't actually. She's lying. Breaking my heart farts.
Oh, good idea. There we go. Already done.
Oh wow.
Oh wait. Cthulhu's do not have noses, so how do I do that kind of nose?
What about Zoidberg?
Why am I wearing a clown suit?
You sound more like Count Dorkula.
Yeah. It's not evil anymore. It's kind of
Clown Cthulhu though, that's pretty awesome.
it's kind of sad looking actually. I don't know what to do with
This sad Cthulhu mime.
yeah.
Make him sweaty. So only in video games would you hear like, "Hey, could you make him a little more sweaty?" Hey, so Vinod, when you're hanging out at the office and you're, arting, what are some of the conversations that you just say, "What am I talking about?"
When we have these very serious debates about like how big the hands are and like proportions and after a while you kind of when when you're in one of those talks, especially like when we were talking about like getting to a big like dragon conversation, like what makes a dragon, what's the difference between a dragon and just a dinosaur, and just like all these kind of nerdy conversations that artists find themselves into. Every once in a while you float you float above yourself and you look down, you're like, how am I getting paid to have, how am I at work right now earning money talking about the intricacies of like what do dragons, is it a wyvern or is it a dragon, is it a drake or is it a, and you're just like I'm kind of happy that this is happening right now.
Yeah, Allie and I have those moments as well when we're reading emails from people, and they'll be saying nice things like, oh, wait, I can't actually repeat it, but there are moments where we're just like, we're getting paid for this abuse.
Yeah.
That is amazing. He still looks very sad.
Yeah, he said sad clown. Aw. The thing, yeah, the children's lives is destroyed. Just not.
Clowns are creepy enough by themselves. This is actually
Yeah. I don't
probably
know.
good rate for a child.
Yeah.
Like child's giant wall painting.
Yeah.
Yes. So the Katie was sharing that maybe he's at Zenobia's birthday party.
So, based on what you saw Katie create, can anyone guess which of our heroes she basically did from start to finish? Yep, there you go. That was very easy.
Wow, that's pretty
Because
awesome.
who would think of making a dragon also a centaur? I don't Dragontar, like,
Dragon Tard.
I wouldn't have gone that direction, and she did. No, there's centaurs of everything, right?
I don't know. Yeah, don't. Yeah, I would. Don't. Yeah, don't Google anything that anybody at Motiga says.
I don't know if I can take this any further.
No, I honestly feel like it's.
Oh, okay, more blood.
All right. So while Vinod's putting the finishing splatters on our friend here, well, Vinod, if you were to, wow, jeez, see, I can do that.
No, wait, I'm not done yet. You can't do this.
This all seems like stuff I could do.
I'm really thinking about the way the blood would fall and interact with the body. Troy, this is advanced. You can't handle it. Sorry.
Effing artists.
Right, it hasn't browned. I mean, Troy, we went to art school. I mean, come on. Stop insulting us. This is really insulting that you
Yeah,
do
sorry.
this.
It does kind of make me sick, though. I mean, I don't know. How many of you here are artists? Get out. What? This guy does not look like an artist. Actually, who are you? Devin, who did you draw? Yeah, some of the heroes. So we're talking to Devin Katie Lee. He is also a one of our concept artists who refused to be on the panel today, even though I begged him. He said, "Yeah, Devin, I have a feeling Devin might have creeped this out even more." So Devin, who did you concept? Who's your latest concept? Vidasi is awesome. Actually, Vidasi is awesome to watch. I really want to see some Vidasi cosplay. That's gonna be tough. You gotta, yeah. How you gonna float? Just spend the whole day like, just another Friday night. Just Troy in his yoga pants with his hair on fire. I know that this is probably a real treat for the people who are trying to catch up to what we're doing here on Twitch. Wow, that is looking really good, Vinod. I'm watching it on the Twitch stream. So we've got.
Page?
What's that?
I thought you were being sarcastic.
Oh no, actually, I prefer this over the. It's beautiful. This is a nice panoramic of a blizzard. Ooh, I don't say that word. Jokes. Well, let's do one more request. I don't know, Lexi, if you want to do a quick draw of something offensive or what have you. Let's take it from the studio audience. Oh, there we go. We're gonna make a unicorn pony. That's yes. My scaly pony. We also had a request from the Twitch channel to draw Huggles as a chipmunk. For those of you that don't know, my grandmother bought me a chipmunk. One of the musical guys, you push their foot and it sings and has guitar and stuff. And yes, well, I made it better by printing out a photocopy of Allie's face. Then I cut it out. Then I taped it to the face of the chipmunk. So now when you hit the button, it's Allie, really creepy, doing this. And then we put her on a fan that rotates around the office. So she just sits there all day doing this, back and forth. It's very unsettling. So we're not going to draw that because it already exists. This is a fantasy panel.
No,
What is?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it creepy. Well, I want to put a little.
Seabass King says they would like you to draw a fully clothed female game character that's offensive. I don't. What does
I'm
that
pretty
mean?
sure I'm already taking a request right now, and I'm very busy.
she's
Making
basically
a unicorn pony alligator.
Yeah, Seabass, she's telling you to shut up. Nicely though. That's pretty. Did that sound condescending? I like its little sparkle eyes. See, these people know.
Horses look like.
Horses are pretty hard to draw.
Well, I'm trying to figure out.
Great. The live stream where we made Lexi cry because she forgot what horses look like.
Dude, no, horses is so hard to draw. Like, real talk.
Do you want some help? I have to stay right here so the internet can hear me, but I would come over there if I had a longer cord to help you draw.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm not talking. You guys got any questions?
What's its name?
Billy.
Billy.
Okay, cool.
Reticulated, yeah. Saltwater pony. It's a seahorse gator. I like it. So Billy, the seahorse gator.
Give Billy some
Billy, the depressed
beautiful
unicorn
pony
is what I'm
hair.
getting from a.
Oh no. Oh no.
Hey, I know that the internet will have a hard time hearing Katie, but Katie, why do all of your drawings involve farting or pooping of a heart or eggs or? You know me. You really.
Okay, so we got
I like this.
scale.
So
And it's a I think I have like the little.
it's called a what? A Karen? Oh yeah, right. It's just
Like
chilling, legs all crossed.
usually.
Ooh. So I have a question. So I look at this kind of stuff. And we've had a lot of fun joking and laughing, but the stuff that you have drawn today, all three of you, is great stuff. I mean, I love that sketch quality. You can kind of use your imagination to kind of fill in some of the bits, or when you know what a horse looks like, you can kind of impose it on.
I don't. I've been trying to tell you this.
But do you have, as artists, would you have a hard time if I was like, hey, we want to print this out and give it to somebody? I mean, is that something that you're like, no, thank you? Maybe not every single one of the pictures, but like Lexi, does giving someone a piece of art like this, like if you were to stop right here, is that something that makes you nervous or?
Not really. I don't know. I mean, the longer you do stuff like this, especially in front of people, because I've done live streaming and things before, and I do convention sketches, and they're not always perfect. And one of the things that you typically have to work on as a professional artist is being able to kind of let things go, being able to be less precious with your work, and to just allow stuff that's not necessarily your best to just kind of exist and not worry about it too much, because your overarching portfolio will speak for itself, and people know what your beautiful polished 40-hour pieces look like, and they're just in situations like these, or in situations where you're doing like convention sketches or something, and you can't go back and control Z if you're doing ink sketches on the fly, and you can't just redo them all until you're satisfied. You just gotta draw the thing and then you let it go, and people just appreciate the effort that went into it, and the spectacle of watching it being made, and just don't worry about it too much, because most people just, they won't notice, or they won't mind, or they'll find it charming. They'll find the imperfections charming, and just kind of part of the experience.
Well, that's kind of what I say. I mean, do you agree in here? It's, to me, it's very charming. The reason I ask is that I would like to, for all the pieces that we drew today, I would actually like to print them out and have us sign them, and then see if we can't get even the digital versions available for the folks that are here with us today. I'll give you an email address, and for the folks that are online, we're going to pick some folks out of the Reddit thread. In addition to giving away T-shirts there, we will give away some excuse me, some signed pieces of art. Looking at some of the comments here, unholy unicorn, dun dun dun. To the jerk face room, someone says.
Shut up.
Um, yeah, I mean, everyone's really enjoying what you're doing, and what all three of you are doing. I think that we have been doing this for quite some time now. We're actually
Yeah, we're
probably
running over.
about a half hour over. I want to thank the artists who've gone up here and drawn for everybody. Please give them a round of applause. It's definitely kind of hardcore to say, hey, on the last day of PAX, can you sit up in front of an audience of people and draw some stuff? So truly appreciated by me, truly appreciated by the community, of course. And folks, this will conclude our very last stream for PAX 2014, PAX Prime. Gigantic has had an amazing show. We've made a lot of new friends. We have shared Gigantic with a lot of new people. And then, of course, we have our near and dear friends who helped us out here, the OMGM Drunk folks, in addition to the people who have been supporting us, like our Reddit friends, Furious Norwal, Darius over at GG Unleashed, our wiki friends, in addition to all of our other community outlets. I certainly haven't forgotten you all. I'm just about ready to pass out, so I'm not going to name every single one of you. But PAX has been effing phenomenal for us. And I want to thank everyone for that. What I'm going to do right now is thank everybody in the Twitch channel. I'm going to thank everyone in Reddit, and we are going to pull the plug on the final live stream from PAX. Thanks, everyone.